Today, we're going to be looking at what makes the Eclipse the most expensive yacht in the world, and the best as well. The yacht belongs to none other than billionaire Roman Abramovich, a man known for his luxurious taste in all things expensive. This yacht of pure elegance costs $175,000 per day to rent, making it only possible for the very rich. But do not fear, we'll be walking you through the $1.5 billion super yacht ourselves. And what is that price tag of the Eclipse, you might ask? How about $590 million? And that was just in the beginning. Now, it's officially worth $1.5 billion after multiple renovations. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? The Eclipse super yacht was built by the German shipbuilding and engineering company Blohm plus Voss, based in Hamburg, Germany. The interior of the boat was designed by the design agency Terence Disdale, based in the United Kingdom. Construction of the boat began in 2004, and it was built after 5 years of continuous design, development, and testing in 2009. In 2010, the boat was delivered to the man who commissioned it, who happened to be none other than Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich, who's known for being the owner of Chelsea Football Club. Mr. Abramovich is certainly no stranger to spending big on luxury, having bought a $100 million French chateau once owned by King Edward VIII, owning many mansions and yachts, owning a Boeing 767 private jet, spending $200 million on art, including a few Picasso paintings, and having a $50 million car collection. But the Eclipse might be the greatest of them all. What makes the Eclipse, well, great? Let's break it down. The Eclipse is a 536-foot-long mega yacht, which, to put in perspective, is 1.5 soccer fields long, and was at one point the largest private yacht ever built. The Eclipse is absolutely massive and therefore divided into 9 decks, with the top deck containing a helicopter pad and a garage. The 8th deck contains a 52-foot swimming pool whose bottom can be elevated to turn into a dance floor, a sun deck, a bar, a pull-out barbecue and pizza oven, and a built-in wood-burning fire pit. How does a margarita pizza with a margarita beverage sound? The 7th deck has another pool, an open deck, and an atrium, which I didn't even know was possible to fit on a boat. The 6th deck features the main dining hall, restaurants, a salon, and an insane 40 by 60 foot loggia architectural design. One may ask themselves, why? Why is there a salon on a yacht in the middle of the ocean? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is true wealth that we're talking about, and it gets more ridiculous as we go on, because the 3rd through the 5th deck of the boat features the housing, and a boat that's 536 feet long needs many staff as well as accommodating many guests. The Eclipse has 11 staterooms and suites, which reportedly each include a jacuzzi, 6-foot home cinema screens, and fit up to 30 guests. There's also additional space for 93 crew members to stay on board, which is needed because there has to be at least 70 crew members on board at all times to keep the ship running smoothly in order to serve guests. The master suite, located on the 5th floor, takes up the entire 5th deck of the boat. Yes, you heard that right. The master suite has sole access to the entire 5th deck, leaving all the other passengers sleeping on the 3rd and 4th deck. The 2nd deck's primary function is a docking port for the submarine, because when you're a billionaire, you can simply afford to have a submarine inside your mega yacht. The submarine is capable of fitting 3 people and submerging 160 feet. But that's not the only toy in this yacht's garage, because there are also 3 launch boats that you can have fun with. The 1st deck accommodates the engine room, machinery, and a small disco club. I can already imagine the steamy parties coming from the hottest part of the ship. Not specified on which deck, the Eclipse also has a disco hall, a fully equipped gym and spa that features Turkish baths, whirlpool baths, a massage room, and sauna. There's also a movie theater on the boat, which sounds great, as long as you're not watching Titanic, because we all know how that one ends, right? Spoilers, the ship doesn't make it. There's another helipad located on the yacht's bow that, once landed on, the helipad opens outward to allow a helicopter to be stored in a specifically made hangar underneath. There's so many amenities and luxury toys on this yacht that it feels as though it's an actual cruise ship as opposed to a privately owned boat, which just goes to show how decked out this more than $1 billion yacht is. But there's something about this boat that separates it from being a glorified cruise ship for the rich, and that is the security. Because a ship owned by one of the richest and most powerful men in the world will probably host the most rich and powerful people in the world, and there's no playing around when it comes to that. The Eclipse is styled after a military vessel, and damn, the security on the Eclipse makes it by far the most technologically advanced yacht in the world. Each suite comes with a specialized security system. Roman Abramovich's master suite is decked out with bulletproof windows, making it one of the most secure suites in the world. Also, it includes a German missile detection system. I guess for when North Korea decides to shoot a rocket at the Eclipse. I'm just kidding. But this ramp up in security is due to the increase in pirate attacks recently, where there is a huge surge in attacks in the Mediterranean Sea, a frequent hotspot for yachting. A luxury that many of us have but the rich and powerful always don't is privacy. Which is why, for the Eclipse to be a true luxury getaway, millions had to be spent on renovations to add the security of privacy. It is reported that the Eclipse has a laser shield defense system against paparazzi trying to photograph the yacht's guests. The lasers, which are beams of infrared light, are used to detect the electronic light sensors of digital cameras. The camera is then targeted with a focused beam of bright light that disrupts the potential photo, making any shots unusable. While it's not exactly Star Wars technology, it is something. This is one of the many renovations that transformed the Eclipse from the value of $590 million to a whopping $1.5 billion value yacht. The upkeep required to keep the mega yacht running is by no means cheap either, costing an insane $75 million a year to keep the boat running, which is more than the GDP of Tuvalu, to put that in perspective. 6 months after receiving the Eclipse in 2010, Mr. Abramovich also decided that he's going to be gracious and open it up for charter. But be prepared to empty your entire savings on just one day on the Eclipse, because this massive boat costs $175,000 a day to rent, while others report it's $2 million a week to charter. And that's not all, because a lot of fuel is needed to power a yacht of this caliber. Oh, and also because the amount you'll end up spending on fuel is a hefty price as well. The fuel burns at about $3,000 per hour, meaning a 5-hour cruise each way could cost you $30,000 on top of the charter cost. And you won't even get that far, given the cruise speed is 22 knots or 25 miles per hour on the Eclipse. In the end, the holy trinity of privacy, security, and luxury is at its finest on this mega yacht. Although the Eclipse is at the top of the mega yachting world, there may be a ship in construction right now that will top it, because in 2017, an unnamed Norwegian billionaire ordered the construction of a high-tech yacht called the Rev that is supposedly much larger than the Eclipse and might end up being the most expensive and biggest ship in the world. We'll have to wait on that one though. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this.